Welcome back to the Daily Move. Today I'm showing you how I warm up for my mountain bike activities to make sure that I prevent injuries. So first we're going to start here with a ball, and you're just going to roll it underneath the arch of the foot and then also the arch where all your toes are. So without knowing it, our feet grip a lot into our shoes, especially as we're going downhill. And if we don't continuously look after our feet, it can create issues. So make sure to roll out both the bottoms of the feet. Now you don't want to go too hard with this. That fascia tissue on the bottom is quite delicate. Just a nice gentle roll out. Next, we're just going to go into a deep squat here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to actually put our knees down towards the ground and then have our toes be flexed by the ground. That's going to stretch the back of our feet. So the more I push my knees away, the more I push my heels away from the toes, the deeper stretch I'm going to get. Alternating from that stretch into a deep squat. So next you're going to go on your hands and knees. You're going to plop your right hip down and bring that leg that's on the ground forward. Now you're in a 90-90 sit position. And what you're going to do is you're going to move your torso from your foot past your knee. Now you can play around with different stretches here, whatever feels good. We're going to hang out on this side for a little bit, either staying in one spot that feels good or moving around. Our glutes get so tight, especially on the way down as you're holding that stance. So it's so important to stretch that out. Here we're switching sides. Same thing, getting our torso to go over top of our knee, past our knee and towards our foot. Now you can find a spot that you like and just stay there, or you can continuously move around like I am in this video. Next, we're going to warm up our hips by doing the 90-90 switch. So that back leg is going to come straight, and then you're going to transition so that the other leg comes behind. Hold for a second or two before switching again. Seeing if you're able to do this while remaining tall with your spine and not using your arms on the ground. However, if you need to start with your arms on the ground, that's totally cool. Just work up to being able to make those hip switches without the assistance of your hands. So next what we're going to do is we're going to have our fingers facing our butt, and we're going to start pulling our heel or our glutes towards our heels here, feeling a nice stretch into our biceps and pec. Now you can bring the knees out to one side and then the other side, whatever feels good here. Now we're going to switch our hand position so that the fingers face behind. Going into a higher bridge here as you pull your glutes towards the heel, feeling a nice stretch into both the pec and bicep. Next, you're going to flip your hands over so the palm faces the ceiling. Nice tall chest, and you're going to scoot your butt away from your hands, feeling a nice stretch into the front part of your shoulder. Nice deep breaths here. You want to think really tall chest, don't collapse through it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go into a bridge twist. So you're going to take your hand and reach over top of the other shoulder, going up into a bridge. So this is pretty much the opposite of mountain biking. We always get so crouched in that position. This is going to open that up. Okay, next we're going to go into that deep squat again. And what we're going to work here, instead of bringing your knees down and getting the bottom of the feet, we're going to work flexion extension of the spine. So you're going to reach forward and then you're going to sit up nice and tall, pulling those shoulders back. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna start rolling on our back. You wanna make sure that you have a nice round spine for this so that it's nice and smooth. And when you come up, you're gonna go into a lunge position where you reach over. You want your heel to remain on the ground as you push your knee over top of those toes. You should feel a nice stretch into the calf and the Achilles with this. Going at your own pace, alternating sides. And play with how you get up. Go in different directions. You can go straight forward. You can go on an angle. See where it's tight and spend your time there. So next what we're going to do is go into a plow position, allowing the knees to come directly over top of our face. You should feel a nice stretch into the low back, into the sacrum. And now you're going to roll out of that position, going straight into a long straddle position where your legs are out. Now do any stretching here that feels good. You can go from side to side. You can try to lie your stomach in front of your legs. You can reach in front of you, whatever feels good. We're gonna alternate between these two positions, going into that plow position and back into that straddle. Going at your own pace here. If you wanna hang out a little bit longer in one position over the other, that's totally cool. So next, staying in the straddle position, you're gonna pick up one leg and then you're gonna tap ankles with the other foot before bringing it back out. Next, you're gonna bend one knee, have the other leg straight. You're gonna reach it and touch your toes if you're able to. And then that top hand is gonna go from going straight to rotating up towards the ceiling. Feeling a nice stretch into the side of your body here and into the hamstrings as well. We're gonna switch legs, doing the same thing. So next we're going to be side lying here, bringing your knees over to one side. You're going to have your hands in front, and that top arm is going to make a big circle over towards the other side, creating a nice spinal twist. We're going to repeat this 5 times, or if you wish, you can just hang out in that twisted position this entire time. Switching sides, doing the same thing. Making sure that the knees don't move. That's going to lock that hip in place as you create that thoracic rotation. Trying to get that back of that shoulder blade down towards the ground. Make sure your head comes with the arm. Same thing, performing 5 repetitions here or just hanging out. So next we're going to work on the core here. We're in a plank position. And we're going to do a mountain climber, bringing the opposite knee in towards the opposite elbow. Hold for a few seconds before switching sides. We're going to perform 10 aside, 20 in total here, going nice and slow, feeling the engagement of the abs. Your core is vital for mountain biking. Nice tall hips there. Make sure that you don't sag as you get tired. Breathe through it. Making sure not to rush this motion. Almost there, keep going. Alright, once you finish your 20th rep, you're going to sit in a pike position so your legs are out straight and you're going to reach for your toes. What we're going to do here is 6 butt lifts. So through your strong arms, you're going to push down, leaning your torso over towards your knees, allowing your butt to come off the ground. Working some shoulder, tricep strength here, a little bit of core as well as you hold a tight position. Next, our arms are going to be in front of us, and now we're going to lift our legs up towards the ceiling and lower them back down. We're going to do this for 8 to 10 repetitions here. If you want this more challenging, just move your arms down towards your knees. To make it a little bit easier, you can have them towards your hips. So next we're going to go into a V-sit hold. Now you can have your knees bent, or if you want more of a challenge, try straight legs. Nice tall back here. Keep breathing, keep holding. All right, lower on down. You're gonna have your legs crossed, and now we're gonna create a seated spinal twist. So you're gonna start rotating to one side, feeling a nice stretch into the back here. And then we're going to slowly make that transition to the opposite side. Just going back and forth at your own pace here. You can go fast or slow, whatever feels right. finish up your last repetition here. We're now going to go back into a plank position, pushing the hips up towards the ceiling into that downward dog position. Holding here for a few breaths before leaning forward, going more into an up dog position where your hips are going down towards the ground. Next, you're going to push your hips back, but tent your fingers in front of you to feel a nice big stretch here into that child's pose. Next, we're going to walk our fingers over to one side, feeling a pretty intense stretch on the side that's facing away from it. Hold here for a few seconds before switching to the opposite side. We're going to run through that series one more time. So starting with a good plank position, pushing those hips up, going into a downward dog. A few breaths here before we start transitioning forward into that spinal extension. Dropping the hips down, making sure not to have those shoulders creep up by our ears. A few breaths here before we start pushing our butt towards our heels into that child pose, but make sure to tent those fingers to create traction for that nice stretch. Same thing, we're going to walk our hands over to one side, hold here for a few seconds before repeating to the other side. Next, we're going to go into that plank position, pick up a leg, bring it to the outside of our hand, feeling a nice deep stretch here. And then we're going to rotate towards that bent knee and then rotate away. Next, you're going to come back into neutral and let that knee dive out to the side. Hold there for a second or two before repeating the twists. We're going to repeat this combo for a total of 3 times. And switching sides. Nice deep lunge here. Twisting towards that knee, away from the knee, coming back to neutral, and then letting that knee fall out to the side. We're going to repeat this for a total of 3 times. Next, we're just going to get the wrists here. So I'm just leaning over. You can do any kind of variation you want. We just worked a lot with the wrists, and our wrists are actually quite taxed with mountain biking as well, with the handlebars and braking. So go gentle with your wrists here. You can see I'm just changing into different positions here. So having my palm down, palm up. You can even have your hands face from side to side and rock your body from side to side. Whatever feels nice on those wrists. Next, we're going to clasp our hands together and then just create circles. And then we're going to finish off here with a neck stretch. So one hand is extended down, the other one is gently pulling our ear closer towards our shoulder, feeling a nice stretch into the side of our neck. Switching sides here. Again, going nice and gentle. You never want to force anything here. We're going to repeat this once more per side. And that's going to finish up our little mobility routine to help us for mountain biking. Thank you so much for following along. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe and share with your mountain biking friends. Have a great riding season. Thanks again for watching. Have a lovely day.